Hello class, hello first grade students. This is me, Mr. Lucero, and we are getting ready to start a new class, a new video class. For this activity, learning experience number 3, week number 5, we're going to work on pages 82, 83, 84, and finally 85. So, we're going to start our activities with this part, speaking time, a podcast about daily routine. No? And you can see a picture next to the title. No? You can see a boy, a little boy, and a girl. Uh-huh. Um, where are they? Are they in the house, in the school? It could be like if they were on the radio, no, on the radio station. No, there is a microphone, headphones, and machines like that. Okay, well, let's see. Listen to the podcast that Josh and Kimberly record for their school website and complete the dialogue with the words in the box. What are those words? Always, okay, dressed, homework, piano, play, shower, sometimes. Okay, so what is the activity for this part? Listen to the audio because you're going to listen audio and complete the blank, fill in the blanks. No, like here for example. No, then I take a and get or do you no how often do you so that is the idea. You are going to listen and you are going to complete with this vocabulary, this part. Okay, this is going to be the vocabulary. So pay attention and do the activity. Good luck.
Unit 5, Track 51, Speaking.
Welcome to our podcast. Today, Kimberly talks about her daily routine to the new students of Red Roof School. Hi, Kimberly.
Hi, Josh. Well, I'm a common teenager. I usually get up at 6 o'clock. Then I take a shower and I get dressed.
Do you always start school early?
No, sometimes classes start at 9 a.m. because we practice our instruments.
How often do you play an instrument at Red Roofs?
All the time. I always play the piano.
When do you usually do your homework?
I usually do homework after classes.
Do you want to say something to the new students?
Enjoy the drama classes and the music classes. Thank you, Josh.
Well, class, this has been our audio, our conversation about Kimberly and Josh. No? So what do you have to do? I repeat once again to complete that conversation. So let's see. Welcome to our podcast. Today, Kimberly talks about her daily routines to the new student of Red Roof School. Hi, Kimberly. Hey, Josh. Well, I'm a common teenager. I usually get up at 6 o'clock and I take a shower and get dressed. No, I take a shower and I get dressed. Do you always start school early? No. Sometimes classes start at 9 a.m. because we practice our instruments. How often do you play an instrument at Red Roofs? All the time. I always play the piano. When do you usually do your homework? I usually do homework after classes. Do you want to say something to the new student? Enjoy the drama classes and the music classes. Thank you, Josh. No? Well, in this time, I also read the dialogue so that you can check the vocabulary, the words in the box. Okay? Now let's see. Next to the conversation, well, in class, you're going to practice and I'm going to listen to you. I need some volunteers so that you can do the conversation. Okay? So you can listen this audio many times so that you can practice before classes. And when I ask for volunteers, you're ready. Next to the dialogue, there is a box says functional language, talking about routines. Okay. Well, this information it's about questions, no? When do you usually do something? It's like a routine, questions for routine. It's like do you always, how often do you, when do you, or when do you usually, no? Well, in this case, you are going to use adverb frequency. Always, sometimes, never. For example, do you usually, for example, play soccer, or in the case of girls, play volleyball? If that is yes, you can say yes, I do, or no, I don't. Okay, that is a possibility. In the second one also, do you always eat sopa seca, for example? Yes, I do. No, I don't. Affirmative or negative, but you choose only one. In number three and number four is different. In this case, you need to answer with a sentence. Let's say, for example, how often, Mr. Lucero, how often do you speak English? And I can say I always speak English, or I usually speak English, or I never speak English. It depends, no? It depends on you. In my case, I always speak English, no? When do you usually, I don't know, eat ceviche? When do you usually eat ceviche? I usually, I'm talking about a moment, no? I usually eat ceviche in summer. For example, in summer, no? We continue with some answers, no? I usually get up at, no? Sometimes classes start at, I hardly ever play the piano. No, those answers are like my answers. No, so try to do activities like this so that you can practice with different things. Now, for example, do you usually get up at 6 o'clock in the morning? Do you usually eat, I don't know, tamales or chicharrones? Do you usually drink coffee? Do you usually eat ceviche? Do you usually read a book? Do you usually do your homework? No. So you can see that I can change the verb and the complement, but the starting is the same. Do you usually, or do you always? Do you always? There is no problem. Okay? And the answer, well, you need to be personal answers, okay? So, we're going to practice this in our classes. So, get ready, please, in this part. Also, we have speaking task. Prepare a dialogue between you and Josh, no? So, it's going to be similar like this, but maybe you can change. For example, step number one, decide which podcast you want to role play. A day in our life is to talk about their daily routines or the routine of a music student. Everything a future musician does on a normal day. No? Or maybe you have a different one, there is no problem. Okay, there is no problem. Number two, think about what the interviewer say. Welcome to our podcast. Do you always usually no? In this case, you're using functional language. Check. No? Check. How often do you? When, what, or how do you? No, this part. Step number three. No, excuse me. Think about what you say. I usually get up. I hardly ever play the piano. Sometimes classes start at 9 a.m. So if that is 9 a.m., now maybe it's different from here. It's a possibility. Write your dialogue. Now in this part, you are going to use all your ideas and write it on your notebook. Step number 4, working pairs, take turns practicing your dialogue. If possible, record the podcast with your cell phones. No, it's a possibility. Okay, class, this has been our first part. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching the video. Bye bye.